So just to appreciate Kedipa for their brilliant, excellent job putting this together, bringing us various stakeholders together, so at least we can deliberate on the issues pertaining persons with disability. We all know that, and from experience, that indeed disability is never an inability. And I think if you look at the performance even of some of the members of parliament, take a good example of should I call him the now former Honorable Isaac Mwaura? Sad to say, but that's the fact. If you look at some of the things that he did, some of the bills that he sponsored, there's this particular bill that we are really trying to push for as Mzalendo, the political party primaries bill. We do acknowledge, why we think that this bill is very, very important is because we readily acknowledge, and this is an undisputable fact, that and IBC would bear us out on this, that representation to our elective bodies is largely via political parties. Yes, we do have the independent candidature phenomenon, but still it is a very, well, it is an insignificant minority compared to the might of political parties. And we know that prior to submitting names to IEBC, parties conduct primaries. And given the ecosystem that we are operating in, some party primaries are more or less the elections. So once you secure that party ticket, you are more or less, more than quarter way done. So we do acknowledge, and I believe we are all aware that one of the chaotic phases of our political party processes is the party primaries. So one of the things that actually contribute to this is the absence of a very, very definitive legislative framework to guide party primaries. So we have participated in various fora that are aimed at streamlining this particular phase of political party activities in advance of the general elections. So there's that party primaries political party primaries bill that was sponsored by Senator Isaac Mwaura. I believe once a senator, always a senator. So in March, it was subjected to public participation. I believe it is somewhere at the Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights Committee of the Senate, and we will be monitoring it. Of course, we do understand that the Office of the Register of Political Parties was working on another one, a multi-stakeholder one. So if you look at the two versions of the bills, the one that is spearheaded by the Office of the Register of Political Parties is a bit comprehensive in some of the provisions. I think the distinguishing feature between the two, the main one that I can recall, is the question of political party primaries fund. So the ORPP version does recommend that there be established political party primaries fund to help fund party primaries as a way of ensuring that you secure discipline. So the Senate one does not have that provision for the simple reason that once you have that particular provision, then it becomes a money bill. You will need finances to have it enacted. But Senate is limited to that extent. The Constitution does limit the extent to which Senate can engage with money bills. So we are working with ORPP to see how this could be reconciled and perhaps find a way of introducing this multi-stakeholder version one, or rather this multi-stakeholder forum one via the National Assembly. So it's work in progress. So as Simon rightly pointed out, we are working as Mzalendo Trust. We are working. There's a program that we are hoping to start soon, probably this coming month, June, on persons with disability, with a particular focus on counties. You see, sometimes we tend to focus so much at the national level, and we forget that we do have counties as well. So the program that we are seeking to start next month will be focusing on counties, particularly on how to incorporate persons with disability in all public participation affairs. So this space has largely, the public participation has largely remained tokenistic. In fact, in most cases, persons with disabilities are not taken care of. So you have this public participation fora, but if you look at how they are organized, you do not have provision for persons with disability. And the biggest challenge, and this again, it's readily acknowledged, is the question of the various types of disabilities. So the most visible one is the physical disability. We do have the non-visible ones. So when you're preparing this public participation forum, one thing that you realize that you may make provision for the physical ones, but you ignore. So we just want to ensure that there's this refined disaggregation of the various types of disabilities and that they are taken care of. So one of the things that we are doing is to push for the enactment of that public participation legislation. If you look at that recent BBI judgment, one of the bases upon which the BBI, the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill was declared unconstitutional was public participation. The High Court did acknowledge that in the absence of meaningful public participation, then that bill does not stand the test of constitutionality. So we are pushing via various platforms to have this legislation passed. So, and of course, we do have, as an organization, we are developing various tools. As I said, we help facilitate engagement between members of the public and parliament. We just try to ensure that members of the public are incorporated in all the legislative processes. So to that end, and in part inspired by the challenges that have arisen because of COVID-19, we are trying to develop online tools that would help in public participation. So that's another thing that we are doing. As I conclude, it's maybe to laud IEBC for the good work they are doing, but I'll particularly be interested to hear Madam Director. We've worked closely with your colleague Salome Oyugi. So I'd be particularly interested to hear, because this is a document that we are actively engaging with, I'd be particularly interested to hear how far you are with the incorporation, or should I say implementation, of this gender and social inclusion policy. Because I know one of the target groups in that GSIP is persons with disabilities. So it would be interesting to hear how far you are with that document insofar as the actualization of various policy prescriptions is concerned. Thank you very much.